What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today, guys, we are taking a look at the newly announced Batman based on his appearance in the movie Batman The Dark Knight Returns. This figure was just announced yesterday, and we're pretty much going to talk about the guy, give our initial thoughts about him, and pretty much what we think about him and how good or, let's say, bad he will end up to be. Before I do start talking about the figure itself, I do want to let you guys know this figure is up for pre-order on Sideshow Collectibles. Pretty much his pricing is around $255. That does seem a little bit low, and I'll talk about a little bit later on if that is something that's good or not. And also, he is expected to be shipped out by the end of 2025, early 2026. Again, he is up for pre-order on Sideshow Collectibles, so I will include the link to their site on the description of the video if you guys want to go ahead and purchase the figure yourself. So, getting to the figure itself, so I saw this movie ages ago, whenever it came out in 2013. This is pretty much an older version of Bruce Wayne, and he pretty much comes out of retirement, becomes Batman. I think he has a battle scene with Superman. Reminds me a lot of that of the Batman versus Superman movie that we got with Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. So but obviously this character is an older Batman, and basically Hot Toys has just decided to pretty much release a figure for him. I hope that we get two, so we get this guy and maybe later on a Superman. By the way, just kind of a quick complaint that I have about Hot Toys. So look, I will never complain about Batman figures being released. I mean, I'm a big fan of Batman. I loved everything about him. He is my favorite DC character of all time. But my God, where is Superman, man? We have not gotten any type of Superman from anywhere, from previous movies, shows, video games, nothing. We've only gotten all these different Batmans, which again I am very happy about. But again, where in the world is a Superman? Hopefully they do one for this specific movie so that we have both of those figures for the collection. So I did want to go ahead and take a look at the images. So again, this figure is based on an animated movie, which again was in 2013, Batman The Dark Knight Returns. So again, an older version of Bruce Wayne. So from what I can see from the initial images, I can tell that pretty much Hot Toys has decided to kind of basically make the figure as kind of more real as possible. So obviously this is an animated figure, but they tried to make it as real as humanly possible, if I can put it that way. So when I look at the suit itself, this does not look animated in any way. It looks more like they try to make it out of the animation. And first and foremost, the guy looks thick, the guy looks very muscular, and he is that way in the movie. So I have no complaints about the body proportions. The guy looks pretty buff. I guess the question will be the articulations, whether he'll have articulations right here in his mid area. That will make the figure much easier to pose. That is something definitely we will have to learn once we get the figure in person. The suit itself does seem to be made out of fabric, your typical fabric, so I'm okay with that. The gloves and his boots do seem to be made out of plastic, so that is a good thing either. And then the cape itself, man, that looks absolutely awesome, as well as the cowl. We are going to get some interchangeable lower face pieces for the guy, and we'll talk about those a little bit later on. So pretty much we get some weapons as well. The belt itself does have its dirt applications. You know, one thing that I wish they could have possibly done is include a Bruce Wayne head sculpt, as he obviously does take his mask in certain, you know, parts of the movie, but they decided not to include one. Again, is it a issue to me? No, but I just wish they would have included that. As far as the weapons for now, it seems that we're gonna get some batarangs along with this rifle. That's all that I see so far. Oh, okay, we also have like his batarang and things like that. Again, I'll touch base on those head sculpts, lower faces effects a little bit later on, but I will say, just kind of an FYI, I don't love them. I have some issues with them, and again, I'll touch base on those once we have more images later on in the video. Later on in the video. So again, just taking a look at more images that are far away. So the cape itself looks great. It seems to have some dirt applications, as well as the suit itself. You guys can see it has dirt, as well as the belt itself. So I personally don't have any issue with that, but at the same time, since we've never gotten a figure, or that I know of, right? I don't know if maybe in the past you guys as collectors have gotten a figure of his, but this being the first figure, I guess, released in a while for this specific movie, I wish they would have made the guy as clean as possible instead of doing kind of like a battle damage. I feel like battle damage figures are more so for movies slash figures that have already been released in the past, so you just want to kind of release an alternate version to the guy. And with this guy, I don't think have ever gotten a figure from this specific movie, so I wish they would have just done a clean version figure to make it as great as possible. So more images on it. Now obviously I mentioned the dirt applications on it aren't the greatest thing, but I am a big fan that they decided to use the fabric to go ahead and do the suit. I think that's gonna make the guy look much better, and again, it matches the texture of the suit in the actual movie itself. As you guys can see right here, he has some of his batarangs, so those are accessories that will come, and again, I'll talk about more accessories whenever we get to the end of the video. This picture, okay, so I was just about to say I couldn't see this picture right here at the bottom, but I can see now. Again, just more images about the guy. So okay, so I did want to talk about those lower faces. You guys can see one of them right here. It's more like a serious look itself. The other two, let me see if I can find them. It'll probably be this kind of grinding imagery, and then this kind of smiley face will be more like a type of rude smiley face, kind of like an evil face, if I can put it that way. So again, 3 interchangeable lower faces that will be included with the guy, and let me go ahead and get to the picture itself so you guys can see. Obviously I talked about this before, the body proportions for the guy are great. He looks really muscular, and it matches what we saw in the movie. So okay, showtime. So talking about the lower faces, as I mentioned before, I wish they would have included an actual Bruce Wayne head sculpt, but they didn't. So we get these head sculpts right here. Now, obviously, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Hot Toys made a transition where basically the figure itself is from an animated movie, but they try to make it as humanly real as possible. So one of the glaring, to me, right away I can notice differences is that obviously we have lips here, and then in the animated movie we didn't, right? We didn't have any lips. It was just the mouth itself and teeth, and Hot Toys decided to go ahead and create lips for this guy specifically to make it again as humanly real as possible. I don't mind that, but I don't think the execution came out really well. It's like the lips just look weird on him, in my personal opinion. I really think they could have found a way to possibly not use lips and still make the figure as good looking as possible. But again, my personal opinion, the execution is not that great itself. Now, I am a big fan of the skin texture, the skin lines. It makes the guy look older, which he is supposed to be that way. The cowl itself, I really like the material that's used on here and the expression lines by his eyeballs. So I am a big fan of that cowl. But again, the interchangeable lower faces, they could have been better. I'm okay with the expressions. One is kind of like a grandly mad, more of a serious look right here on the right, and then on the left, more like an evil smile that he portrays in the movie. So let me know in the comments, please, guys, what do you guys think about these specific interchangeable lower faces? Again, to me, they're good but not great. There's some work to do. As you guys always know, this is just a prototype. The final results will be released in about a year or two, so just be ready for that. But for now, that's pretty much all that I can talk about the guy. Again, very thrilled to get him, guys. I'm a big fan of Batman, and in no way did I expect this guy to be released. So all that I'm hoping is that they release a Superman from this specific movie as well, so that way we can have those two figures together. But pretty much, again, very thrilled about the guy. I really like everything that I see. There's some details that can be worked on, like the suit itself and the battle damage look that they wanted to give him, as well as also the interchangeable lower faces that I'm still a little bit concerned how they'll end up once we get the figure in person. So pretty much just to finalize the video, so again, we get the figure itself. Pretty much the cape itself does include bendable wire. The body portrayed pretty much is pretty muscular, which I am a big fan of. 3 interchangeable lower faces, his rifle, some batarangs, a couple of hand display pieces, and then also a display base that reminds me a lot of that classic Iron Man that we unboxed last year. It's very similar to that. but obviously has this little bit differences. I think this one's a little bit smaller, and it's pretty much in the shape of a octagon, and then we get his nameplate here on the front. So I'm a big fan of that display base. It looks pretty good, and everything else to me, it's good. I really don't have a big complaint. Again, there's some things that they can work on, but we'll see once we get the figure in person. But this is one of those unique figures that we really don't get that often, so I am very thrilled to get him and cannot wait to get him in about a year or two. Obviously once we get it, we'll do an unboxing video here on my YouTube channel. So before I do end the video, want to thank you as always, guys, for supporting the channel. If it is the first time that you're watching me, just know that I cover all Hot Toys possible. Pretty much we do unboxings, we do figure previews, release previews whenever a figure is ready to be shipped out. So anything Hot Toys, content, this is the channel to follow. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notifications bell so that we are always updated anytime that I do drop a video. For now, guys, this is going to be it for this Batman from The Dark Knight Returns hot figure preview by Hot Toys, and I will see you next time.